How's it going, everybody? It's been Marky coming back at you once again, and today we're going to be discussing Green Lantern: The End by Geoff Johns with art by Doug Mahnke. Let's get into it. Green Lantern issue 0. Simon Baz ends up stealing the wrong van and ends up in federal custody for an act of terrorism. That is, until a Green Lantern ring springs him from custody. Green Lantern number 13. New Green Lantern, Simon Baz, heads home to seek help from his family, only to run across the Justice League. Green Lantern number 14, Simon evades the Justice League while the Third Army continues to spread. Hal and Sinestro encounter someone from their past while trapped in the Dead Zone. Green Lantern number 15, Simon Baz finds out who planted that bomb in the van that he stole just in time for the Third Army to arrive. Green Lantern number 16, Simon Baz learns what it means to be a Green Lantern. Then he heads to the hospital where he performs a miracle before heading off to go help Guy Gardner. Green Lantern number 17, we see the creation of the universe as Cronus saw it so long ago. A blue hand reaching, wearing a green ring. Simon Baz wakes up in the Chamber of Shadows to be confronted by Black Hand. Volthoom, free in the present day, disintegrates the Third Army just like that. Makes you wonder what all that buildup was all about. Only to realize that he's been weakened because the Guardians of the Universe siphoned too much power from him, so he needs to recharge. Simon Baz gets sent to the Death Zone by Black Hand, where he ends up with Hal and Sinestro. Green Lantern number 18, Sinestro and Simon end up escaping the Death Zone, leaving Hal Jordan stranded. Green Lantern number 19, Sinestro returns to his home planet of Korrigar in an attempt to spare it from Volthoom's wrath, only for Volthoom to show up and destroy it right from out of under Sinestro's feet. Leaving Hal to make a tough decision. Green Lantern number 20, Volthoom faces the combined might of all the Lantern Corps, and one really pissed off Sinestro. Green Lantern forever altered and changed here in Geoff Johns' final issue on the title. This is a weird one, right? It's the big finale to Geoff Johns' magnum opus, his Green Lantern run here. And here at the 11th hour, he's introducing a new character named Simon Baz. We get his origin here in this volume. It's a pretty okay origin, right? He's a street racer, Muslim guy who steals the wrong car, gets blamed for a terrorist act, only for the Green Lantern ring to discover him, and he gets out of jail free with that one. But then he goes on to learn what it is to be a Green Lantern, and he plays a major role in the events of the finale. He saves Sinestro from the Death Zone. But ultimately with Simon here, I feel like we don't get a complete story. I know at the end of Green Lantern number 20, it sort of shows that he's destined to train this new Green Lantern, the first female Green Lantern from Earth, named Jessica Cruz. He's going to be her trainer, apparently. But we never see him get to go back, to his family. We never really get a conclusion to that story. Is the government still hunting him? I don't know. We don't get a conclusion to that. The book sort of shifts back to Hal and Sinestro once they get free from the Death Zone, and leaving Simon hanging there. Make of what you will of that. Also, another thing I really enjoyed about this book, there's a moment here between Hal and Sinestro. I won't spoil it for you. You'll know it when you see it, but once it happens, you just kind of sit with it. You sort of think back along the run, all the interactions the two of them had. It really makes you want to start all over again, reading from the beginning. As far as a negative, throughout this volume, right, you're dealing with two events. You got the rise of the Third Army, and you got the wrath of the First Lantern. We all know the Third Army was a joke because the First Lantern just disintegrates them right after he gets free from his prison, and the First Lantern is vanquished pretty easily as well. Sure, you're dealing with Parallax Sinestro, or you got Hal Jordan and Necron to take him out, but it was like done in a page, and you never really felt like a true threat. The First Lantern spends all his time playing, what if, going through people's timelines, seeing what would have happened had they made different choices trying to warp reality. But ultimately, he does nothing, and reality just stays the same, and he goes out like a little bitch. So you look back at this event, and you say, wow, was that the worst Green Lantern event of the run? You tell me. Also, I feel like another negative of this volume is the lack of Hal and Sinestro. I know the bulk of it was setting up Simon Baz as a new Green Lantern of Earth, but the past couple of volumes, hell, the whole run has been Hal and Sinestro focused. So here we are, the final battle. Like if it wasn't for that 80-page special that was issue 20, which is a trade paperback in itself, uh, we would have had hardly any Hal and Sinestro. And that issue 20 80-page giant really helped saves this one. But yeah, so if you were looking for a lot of Hal and Sinestro, you came into this book and you get only Simon Baz, you might be disappointed. And I'm just gonna go ahead and say it here, right? You got two back-to-back events, right? Rise of the Third Army, Wrath of the First Lantern. They're both smashed together. Uh, they both don't really have any lasting. Well, I shouldn't say Wrath of the First Lantern doesn't have any lasting effects. The First Lantern himself didn't do anything, but it's Sinestro with what he does, the state of the Guardians when it's all said and done, setting up like a whole new era of Green Lantern that's yet to come. But I kind of feel like Jeff Johns' run was rushed here with the two back-to-back nothing events, and he's just off the book. I don't know. What do you guys make of that? So with all that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and give Green Lantern The End a 4 out of 5. Like the other Green Lantern books in this era, with these two back-to-back events, you're not really gonna get a complete story. You're gonna get the most complete story out of all of them, but there's still gonna be missing chapters. But are you really gonna care? Who knows? I want to give it a 5, just based on what it is, the finale, but I just can't do it. It's gonna be a 4. Until next time, I'll see you there.